The route that we're looking at today is called Hilti Soundsystem, and it's in a crag called Masson Lees, which is just outside of Matlock. It's a real good middle of the grade, solid 7a, nice and crimpy, good technical face climbing. So let's take a look at my process. Something you might notice here is that the third bolt is already pre-clipped with the rope in place. And that's just to protect me on the early stages of the climb and through the first awkward moves of the climb, where the bolt is just in a slightly unusual place, and I just didn't want to fall into the rope or the ground or the belayer. It's a decision that's personal, every climber has to make. Personally, my values are on keeping myself safe at all times and having fun, and then kind of courage and bravery come below that somewhere. Here's one of the first decisions I make here, which is to get my right hand on a poor hold, sinking my hips in low to get my left hand onto a better hold. It would be easy to put my right hand onto that good hold, and if I did that I would have been a little bit stuck or had to have done an awkward match, so I decided to make that move. For this climb I used a simple route reading or chunking method, which is to give the route a beginning, middle and an end. So I've just done the beginning there, which was to get to the break and through that first hard move, and then I've got a mini rest here. Then there's a middle section, which is just moving up through some steady climbing, and then there's an end section, which is really hard, just makes it simple. So taking a look at a move coming up now, it's going to be the rock over. Really key, really crucial. It's about transitioning my weight onto a high right foot, and the thing that I would like to draw attention to is just that the move is finished when my body position is in the right place, so I don't move my right hand until I am sat right on my right leg. There we go, just for a little bit of efficiency. And so throughout on this kind of crimpy climb, I'm working on trying to keep my feet underneath me on the positive holds. My knees are bent here because I'm a little bit bunched, a little bit tall for where my hands and my feet are. Keeping my glutes, my bum tucked in, my hips close to the wall for a centre of balance. Thinking as well of rear wheel drive, so bringing both feet up when I can rather than just one foot. So let's see, that's 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, and then move. It's quite easy for me as a taller climber to lank my way through, move my arms first and then my feet second. One of the processes that I try and focus on is just to move my feet first. So here is the dividing line. So this is rest number 3 essentially, and so I'm moving into the end game of the climb, which is the tougher part of the climb. And so with this resting, what I really try and focus on is when I bring my hands to match, I keep the weight evenly spread and then I move my hands. So when I bring my left hand back in, I try and make it so each hand is holding 100%, 100%, and then transition, rather than any jerky motions, so my body's keeping still, thinking about slowing everything down and assessing my hands. I take a really long rest here. This is the first climb of the day, so just taking my time. But I know what's coming up is tricky. I'd been on the climb before, I actually fell off it. And if you watch the previous video, I used this climb for full practice as well. And so I know that the next bit, it has some small holds and a little bit of go-y climbing, whereas the rest has actually been slightly steady with that awkward jamming move at the beginning. As I'm sitting here, I'm just thinking through the process of what I'm doing, but the main thing that I'm trying to do is to just slow everything down, get my breathing ready, and I'm paying attention to the sensations in my body, so figuring out if the pump in my hands is okay, what else I need to rest. It's not just resting in general, it's thinking about what I need to rest. I know my right hand has to do a lot of work here because it has to hold on to the smallest holds and use the most power. So it's the right hand that I try to rest. So moving into the crux, I start making a few miniature errors here, and I'll try and talk through some of the issues. So just there, my right foot could have been used a bit more to its advantage by pressing into the wall and pushing me forwards, which it didn't do. So taking time to settle my hands into some of the holds here. This was a tactical decision that I made to clip with my right hand on the hold. There is also an undercut which I've clipped off previously for my left hand, but it means having to pull quite hard and really stand into some slopey holds, which I know would take a little bit of mental and physical effort with the fear of that clip. So I clipped off my right hand in a more stable position, but you have to take the time to find the balance. So being tall here, I can bunch myself up, get my flexible hips in, or slightly flexible hips, and start going for the small holds. You'll see some errors, I believe, in a moment with my right leg just dragging a little bit. There it is, just dragging there. And so here comes the head game element of the climb for me. I've actually done all the hard stuff, I'm on the easy bit, and it just takes me a while to actually find the good hold in that massive hole. And the gremlins started popping up in my head here, telling me that maybe I wouldn't be able to do it, even though I've done it already. So there's that little bit of self-sabotage, and I had to basically talk a bit louder than the gremlins, and allow myself to move forwards, to remind myself that I could hold on to those holds all day long, and if I take my time I could reset my breathing and my feet. And there it is, it's all clipped in, chains are done. And the last thing I wanted to do is just get all the way to the top, just for the sake of it, for a bit of extra fitness. And there it is, talking through F7a. Hope you found that useful. As always, if you like the video, give it a like. If you'd like to subscribe, then please do click subscribe. If you've got any questions, comments, then let me know, and I will continue to put out videos like this if they are useful for other people. If you are working towards your F7a, then let me know how you're getting on.